Hi, hello and welcome back to F1 Challenge VB. My name is Mephisto and our epic journey through the history of Formula 1 continues today with the 8th round of the 1967 season, the Canadian Grand Prix. It was held on the 27th of August at the Mosport Circuit. It had 19 entries, 17 of them took part in the race with 6 of them ending up retiring. The race consisted of 90 laps completed in 2 hours, 40 minutes and 40 seconds. Jim Clark started the race from pole but retired on lap 70 with an ignition problem. Graham Hill was second on the grid, Holm third, Amon fourth, Gurney fifth, and McLaren started the race from 6th and ended up in 7th. Brabham was on a roll and managed to climb from 7th into the lead of the race and won the Canadian Grand Prix from Holm, who moved up 1 place and was 1 minute 1.9 seconds behind Brabham. Gurney went from 5th to 3rd and was 1 lap down. Graham Hill dropped from 2nd to 4th, he was 2 laps down. Spence climbed from 10th to 5th, he was 3 laps down, and Chris Amon dropped from 4th to 6th, he was 3 laps down as well. Clark proved to be the fastest man in the race, posting a time of 1 minute 23.1 seconds. Welcome to the Mosport Park circuit, where a lap starts off with a quick sprint into turn 1, a fast right-hander, which leads nicely into turn 2, a fast left-hander with negative camber, so you will want to watch your speed through here. Next is turn 3, a medium speed right-hander, followed by turn 4, another fast right-hander with negative camber. Turn 5 is next, a double apex right-hander. Be extremely careful when approaching the corner as you are going up the hill, which suddenly levels off. Leading out of this is a fast left-hander, which takes us onto the longest straight on the track. Turn 7 is next, a high-speed left-hand sweeper that leads into turn 8, a fast right-hander. Turn 9 is next, a medium-speed left-hander, which leads into the final corner of the track. Turn 10, a medium speed right-hander that brings us around onto the main straight, and that is a lap around the Mosport circuit. And here we are in qualifying for the Canadian Grand Prix, coming out of the final corner to set our initial lap time, a 1:25.546. Not quite the fastest lap, but hopefully we'll be able to improve on it as much as possible. That would be very nice as we come around to set a 1:25.152. It's a little bit of an improvement, but not by much. I would like to go even faster if possible because, well, pole time is 1:17 and I finally managed to set a 1:24.099, and that was about as fast as I could go. Unfortunately, after this I kind of destroyed my car, so that's pretty much it for qualifying. So even if I could have gone faster, we will never know. Since my car got destroyed in qualifying, I kind of cut that part out because, well, I didn't want to show you, but, well, I just got stuck in the gravel pit. Anyway, here we are for the Canadian Grand Prix. Obviously, there were no previous winners here, at least not in Formula 1, or better yet, not in as part of the championship. Anyway, Chris Irwin is starting from pole with Jackie Stewart in 2nd. Brabham is 3rd on the grid, followed by Mike Spence in 4th. In 5th we have Joe Siffert, and rounding off the top 6 we have Pedro Rodriguez. Then in 7th it's Graham Hill, followed by Chris Amon in 8th, Jim Clark 9th, and Dan Gurney is 10th. In 11th we have Denny Holm, and Bruce McLaren is in 12th, finally returning to his own team. In 13th we have Epi Vaitzes, followed by Mike Parks in 14th, David House is 15th, 16th is John Surtees, Jonathan Williams 17th, Jackie X 18th, 19th John Love, Joe Bonnier 20th, Guy Ligier 21st, 22nd is Mike Fisher, followed by Pierce Courage in 23rd. In 24th we have Andy Hicks, followed by Bob Anderson in 25th, 26th is Lucky Botha, 27th Rint, 28th is Alan Pease, 29th is Dave Charlton, 30th Jean-Pierre Beltois, 31st is Johnny Servos Gavin, and Sam Tingle bringing up the rear of the grid. So that is the lineup for today's race. Hopefully we'll do well here today for the first Canadian Grand Prix, at least as part of the World Championship. And we are off. There was someone stuck on the grid, one of the French cars, not quite sure who it was, probably Guy Ligier, probably, actually I think it was Guy Ligier. He was in front of me after all, so it's We already have a retirement as we come up the hill here and through turn 2, trying to get closer to Mike Fisher. However, he's pulling away through the corners, but we catch back up to him on the straight. And here is a replay of the start. We had a pretty decent start. We managed to gain a couple of positions, not too many though, but I'm sure that if we try hard enough, we'll be able to gain more places as the race progresses. That would be very, very nice. As we take a look at a replay of Guiligia, who is indeed stuck on the grid. He has some sort of a clutch problem. A little bit later on during the opening lap, we see a replay of Servozgov, and coming through the turn 5, the double apex right-hander, and going through the slowest corner on the track, he somehow manages to flip his car upside down, which is quite an achievement, I would say. And here we have a replay of Chris Irwin. We see fire and smoke coming out of the rear of his car. He pulls to the side and he is obviously out of the race. And we also have a replay of Chris Amon coming through turn 5 as well, and he manages to flip his car coming out of that slow corner as well. That really is quite an achievement. Anyway, here we are coming into turn 5 ourselves, gaining a couple of positions. However, it felt like I cheated a little bit there, so I gave a position back and then took it back soon and very quickly. So we are now in 21st, and we are looking at a way to get around Love here, and that is 19th place done. Now let's see if we can catch Bonnier eventually. However, as we start lap 20, we saw a car at the side of the road. Actually, there were two cars at the side of the road, and here's a replay of Joe Stifford. Interesting camera positioning here. I'm not quite sure who thought that was a good idea, but anyway, and this is even better camera positioning. We can see everything that's happening. Well done to the track creator. As we take a look at a replay of John Love, who also has smoke coming out of the rear of his car. He pulls to the side, crashes his car, and well, he's obviously out of the race. And here is a replay of, I'm not quite sure who it is. I forgot to put a tag on this, unfortunately. However, I sped up this entire thing because it took very long. This entire footage is about a minute long. Well, and it keeps going. Whoever it was, they are obviously out of the race as we now start lap 3. Still chasing after Joe Bonnier. We are in 16th at the moment. Hopefully we'll be able to catch up slowly but surely. As we take a look at a replay of Pierce Courage here. Well, we don't really see much of him. Actually, we see now as he comes out of that right-hander, he flips his car upside down, and that is the end of his race. A lot of very good camera positioning on this circuit. I really like that. Congratulations to the map makers once again as we overtake Joe Bonnier for 15th finally. And now looking at a way to get past Jonathan Williams, and we do pass him on lap 5. And looking to overtake a few more people. That was David Hobbs, so we are now 12th. And can we get around Jackie X as well? Yes, so that is 11th place. 3 positions in pretty much one straight section of the track. That's quite nice. We now move on to lap 6 here, chasing after John Surtees, who's about 8 seconds up the road. Hopefully we will catch up to him as well eventually, as we take a look at a replay of David Hobbs, who kind of cuts the track and then his car flips upside down, and he is also out of the Canadian Grand Prix. Lap 10 now, and I somehow move up into 9th, although I didn't see any car that I passed, but well, oh well, whatever. As we take a look at a replay of John Surtees, again with this very interesting camera that's below the earth somehow. Anyway, Surtees flips his car upside down. Actually flips it quite a couple of times, but well, he is out of the race obviously. Now lap 11, chasing after Pedro Rodriguez, who is in 8th. Yeah, we are very close to the points. Hopefully we'll be able to gain a couple as we take a look at a replay of Graham Hill here, who pulls to the side of the track, probably with a suspension problem or maybe even brake problems, and he is out of the Canadian Grand Prix. Lap 12 here, and we finally caught up to Mike Parks, so we move up into 7th, just one position below the points. With points in sight, we'll obviously try to do our best to get into point scoring position, as Pedro Rodriguez on lap 30 managed to overtake us for a brief second. However, we managed to regain our lost position quite easily. Still lap 13, and we caught up to a bunch of back markers, so which makes it very easy for us to get past quite a few cars, and we move up into 4th place, which is very nice. Now chasing after after Brabham, who is about 18 seconds up the road, so we have a lot of catching up to do, but there's still quite a lot of laps left in the race, so we should be able to catch up. Anyway, this is lap 14, and we are still obviously chasing after Brabham. And we have a replay of Jim Clark here pulling to the side of the track. He then flips the car upside down, and well, obviously he is also out of the race. Lap 16, still chasing after Brabham. He's pulling away slowly, so we might not be able to catch up as the laps are ticking down. We are still about halfway through the race as we take a look at a replay of Joe Bonnier, who well, we see smoke coming out of his engine, and he pulls to the side, and he is also out of the race, so that's that for him. Lap 19 now, and Mike Spence is also out of the Canadian Grand Prix as we come around to finish lap 19 and start lap 20. And here we have a replay of Bruce McLaren once again back in his own car, coming into the pit to retire, probably with a gearbox problem, but that is that. And here is a replay of Mike Spence coming around to start his new lap, and he pulls to the side, and that is the end of his race. We see smoke coming out of his engine, so that is his race done. Lap 22 now, still chasing after Jack Brabham. With Spence out of the race, we moved up into 3rd, so that's quite a good position for us as we take a look at a replay of Pedro Rodriguez coming into the pits to retire as well, thanks to a gearbox problem. And this is Denny Holm also coming into the pits with a very battered car. And also on lap 22, Jackie Stewart managed to set the fastest lap of the race, so congratulations to him for being as fast as he is, obviously. As we now move on to lap 26, still chasing after Jack Brabham. I don't think we have enough time to catch up to him anymore. There's very little left in this race at this point, as we take a look at a replay of Sam Tingle, who loses control of his car, flips it upside down, and is also out of the Canadian Grand Prix. Lap 27 now. We caught up to Brabham a little bit, but there are only a handful of laps left in this race, so I'm afraid we will have to settle for 3rd place, which is, well, not bad considering that we didn't do too well all this season up until now. As we take a look at a replay of Mike Parks, who pulls to the side and is out of the race. And lap 30 now. I was lapped by Stewart once, and here is a replay of Stewart coming around to finish the race and win the Canadian Grand Prix. So congratulations to Stewart again. So he did quite well, not only posting the fastest lap but also winning the Grand Prix, which is quite nice, as we ourselves come around to finish the race in 3rd place. Again, a very good result for us. Brabham 2nd, Higgs 3rd, 4th, Gurney 5th, Williams Rint 6th, and that was a pretty good, decent, solid result. As we take a look at it, the replay, not a few retirements, the retirements that took place during the course of the race. A lot of people, the majority actually, retired, so that was quite something. But that was the Canadian Grand Prix. Quite an interesting race. We had quite a few very good camera angles on the track, which helped us a lot in seeing what was going on. But with that, let's move on now. And here's a quick look at the championship standings. This was Andy's 158th Grand Prix. His best start is from first, has 16 pole positions, has set 29 fastest laps. His best finishes in first, has completed 100 races, 77 of them in the points, has won 44 Grand Prix, 4 at the Indianapolis 500, 6 in Monaco, has 8 championships under his belt, has scored a total of 521 points, has retired 58 times, has experienced 3,335 out of 4,130 laps, has 8 bronze trophies, 16 silver trophies, 44 gold trophies, and as an extension, 44 podiums. And here is a quick look at the championship standings. Graham Hill and Brabham fighting for the lead, Jackie Stewart and Chris Irwin fighting for 3rd, 4th is Pedro Rodriguez, David Hobbs is 6th, Andy Higgs is in 14th now. The last person with points is Guy Ligier down in 23rd, and bringing up the bottom of the standings is Silvio Moser down in 37th. So those are the driver standings. Let's now move on to the constructors, where we have Team Lotus in the lead with Brabham and Owen Racing Organization fighting for 2nd, Cooper and Rec Parnell fighting for 4th, Scuderia Ferrari are 6th, the last team with points are Guy Ligier in 12th, and bringing up the bottom of the constructors are Charles Vogel down in 23rd. So that was the Canadian Grand Prix, quite an interesting little race. More than half the field retired, but that's okay. At least some people managed to finish, which is nice. We managed to do very well in this race, so that's quite refreshing, obviously. But we got to move on, and our next race is the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Looking forward to it. Always a very important race in the season, so hopefully we'll do decently there as well, but we'll have to wait and see when we get there, I guess. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. Not much more to say about it, so yeah, let's just end it. Don't forget to vote for next season's team. Link is in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.